Thank you. Let us now proceed. Miss Kuya Bing, there naman is ready. Let us now proceed to our second talk for this evening, loving God and neighbor. The goals of this topic are the following: to move the participants, to apply your idealism to that of loving God, and to encourage you to invite Christ to be the center of your lives. To lead you to the understanding that the essence of Christianity is union with God, and that this is made possible only through Jesus Christ. To make you realize the need to enter into a personal relationship with God and to love one another as Jesus Christ loved us. Our speaker for this second talk is one of our senior leaders in the community. He is currently the Regional Council Director of the Northern Cebu chapters of BCBP. He was my course leader in BCLP 12. He has been with the BCBP for, imagine Kuya Sanates, 24 years. Brothers and sisters, a round of applause please to Kuya Bing Sarigumba.
Kuya Ernest, thank you for the heartwarming introduction. And thank you also for giving me this opportunity to serve our Lord God through this talk. Once again, Kuya Sanates, good evening.
Good evening.
My talk tonight is entitled Loving God and Neighbor. And I would like to highlight the following areas. Loving God as an ideal. Second, Jesus Christ as model in loving God and neighbor. Third, the challenge, what is your response? In loving God, some of us would try to express our love for God in varied ways. There are those who like to go to church and hear Mass every day. There are others who like to read the Bible and bring the Bible wherever they go. Few others love to donate large sums of money to the church and even volunteering to construct the church building for free. Kuya Sanates, these are not wrong concepts, but neither are they considered adequate expressions of how we should love our God. Tingali, mangutana mo, kinsaon man di ay kuya? Please consider this. Loving God as an idea. Let us all please read.
All of us have our own goal in life. These goals directs our human behavior and plans for life. Some may give anything and everything just to achieve their goal. We can live our lives in pursuit of our goals, but if our goal is not focused on loving God, then it falls short of the ideal.
Yes. I would like to repeat the last phrase. We can give our lives in pursuit of our goals, but if our goal is not focused on loving God, then it falls short of the ideal. When I was a young boy, my parents encouraged me to love God and serve Him by becoming a priest. That became my goal in life. So as a young boy, I served in the church as a Christian. Then I entered high school and completed college seminary. But unsa mang pagkabsaan na nawala magspasing. I lost focus in my goal kay lagi nagminyuman. As a married man, my life revolved around three things: church, to hear mass only on Sundays; second, home; third, office. This became routine to the point nga I realized that there is something lacking in me, something of a vacuum in my life. I realized then that loving God within these three things bears no meaning if my love for God is not expressed in actions in loving God and neighbor. With God's grace, I decided to serve as a Eucharistic lay minister sa Redemptorist Church. Then, I joined BCBP and served the community in various capacities until I became chapter head of Mandawi. After my term as chapter head, it was very tempting for me to decline invitations to serve. Kaya lagi, I already reached the summit of my service to the community, but moved with a servant's heart and with the mentality of service. I continue to serve this time at the Talamban Mission, now a full-fledged chapter. I hope that with these various service ministries, I would be on the right track and remain focused on my desire to love God and serve Him, not as a priest, but as a lay person, just like any one of you here. Loving God, therefore, is my highest priority. Jesus Christ, early in His public ministry, went around towns and villages to proclaim the good news. In one occasion, a scribe asked Him a question: "Sir, which is the greatest of all the commandments?" And Jesus replied, "You shall love your God with all your heart, with all your mind, and with all your strength." And what does it mean? To love God with all your heart. Heart here has two understandings. First, under the modern day understanding. Second, biblical understanding of a heart. Under the modern day understanding, heart here is synonymous to feelings. But we cannot love God based on feelings, because feelings do change from time to time. Under the biblical understanding of a heart, this is the combination of the use of the heart and the mind. When these two function together as one, there is a decision. And when there is a decision, there is a commitment. And when there is a commitment, you will do it. When I was relatively new sa BCBP, I was asked to give a talk like this one. Kay lagi sayo man to gihatag mga 2 to 3 months earlier, akong gidawat. But when I started preparing my talk, I realized na I was inadequate. Hindi na ko kaya. My heart is willing to give the talk, but my mind says no. And my heart succumbed to the dictate of my mind, to the point nga I approached our course leader and asked him to replace me. Grabe, no? So, with the encouragement of the elders, nisugot targid ko. And this time, my heart and my mind agreed and saying, let's do it. To love God with all your mind. The use of mind could have a disastrous effect if not properly guided. So, we need to keep our mind clean and holy. That is, free of evil thoughts and desires. I read the Bible and other helpful Christian readings to fill my mind with the thoughts of God and serve Him in the BCBP by making my mind available for God's purposes. That's what I am doing now. To love God with all your strength. Strength here means our resources, money, time, and energy. Money. It is not that God is interested how much you invested in your bank, how much money do you have in the bank, but rather how you gain the right attitude towards money. We are in possession of money not as a real owner, but as steward. And as such, we have the responsibility to manage and use well these resources. Time. Just like money, we do not own our time. We only manage it. When I was still working in the bank as head of the loans department, many of my office mates would invite me to a night out on a Friday. The invitation would conflict my BCBP schedules. So I just had to tell them, na naman ko'y schedule tonight, bye. So, say no if it is a no, and yes if it is a yes, and they will respect your excuse. Energy. Giving you this talk is an expression of my love for God. Together with the rest of the service team, we are here to serve your needs as our way of serving the Lord. Kung gikapoy mo, sila sab, I presume, gikapoy po nga likod-likod sa kilid. Sila, they are here to continue their service out of love. Model in loving God. We are fortunate that we have a model in the person of Jesus Christ. And how did Jesus Christ model himself? For easy recall, let's remember ODF. O, obedient unto death. Remember the night when Jesus had a panamilit with his apostles. He had the Last Supper with the apostles, then the washing of the feet, And after that, they went to the Garden of Gethsemane. And there Jesus talked to his Father and he said, Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. This cup refers to the sufferings that Jesus will undergo in a short while. Jesus himself knew that he will undergo suffering and even death on the cross. He could have asked anyone from the apostles, Peter, and asked him or them to replace him. But no. Jesus continued to say to his Father, not will, but yours be done. Jesus was obedient to his Father even unto his death. D. Dedicated to accomplishing his mission. Joseph, Mary, and Jesus went to Jerusalem to attend the feast of Passover celebration, after which they went back to their place. After a while of walking, Mary realized that Jesus was not with them. So he told Joseph, and they agreed to go back to Jerusalem to look for Jesus. And there they found Jesus in one of the synagogues talking to the Jews. And Mary approached Jesus and said, Son, why have you done this to us? Don't you know that your father and I have been terribly looking for you? Then Jesus replied, why are you looking for me? Don't you know that I had to be in my Father's house? Jesus, in his young age, already prepared himself for his mission. And he was dedicated to accomplishing his mission. Focus on the Father's will. Jesus regularly communicates with the Father in prayer to remain focused on his Father's will. Loving God, therefore, is not something that is vague. It involves specific, practical actions, decisions, and commitments. The services that your brothers and sisters in the community are providing you now are concrete, specific actions and decisions made as their expressions in loving God. They could have been elsewhere, in the mall, window shopping, having lunch with family and friends, watching movies. But no, they are here with you to serve you as their expression in loving God. Thus, service is love expressed in action, and to whom? Loving our neighbor. We are now in the second part of my talk. Our love for God will be made possible and meaningful by loving our neighbor. Loving God and loving our neighbor are two different directions, yet inseparable. We cannot say that I love God, but I hate my neighbors. Or the other way around, I love my neighbors, but I hate God. Bitaw no? In my human understanding, how could I love God, somebody who is beyond my senses. I cannot see him, hear him speak, touch and feel his presence. Surely I cannot love him. But by God's grace, early in my married life, He made me realize that there is more to my routine life of church, office, and home that I need to do, and that is to express my love for Him by loving my neighbor. And rightly so, because Jesus said, the second greatest commandment is love your neighbor as yourself. Then a teacher of the law asked Jesus, who is my neighbor? Then Jesus answered by giving the parable of the Good Samaritan. The parable tells us that any person in need of your help, that person may be rich or poor, young or old, member of family, friend or enemy, is your neighbor. Extend some kind of help. Jesus confirmed this when He said that whatever you do to the least of your brethren, you do it unto me. Now, that is the essence of Christianity. Christianity is a love relationship between you and your God. And your God the Father initiated this relationship when He sent His only Son to the world to save the world from perditions of sins. And by virtue of baptism, we became members of one big Christian family. We become sons and daughters of God and belong to one God with Jesus Christ at the center of our lives. As sons and daughters, we share in the eternal life of God. That is why we believe that there is life after death. But what really is love in relation to our neighbors? Again, we are fortunate that we have a model in loving our neighbor, and that is Jesus Christ. Consider the following examples. Service love. Jesus washing the feet of His apostles is an example of humility and servitude. Only servants wash the feet of the master and not the other way around. We in the BCBP, Mandawi and Talamban and Mandawi West do this regularly every Holy Thursday to remind particularly the leaders of our community that they are here to serve our brothers and sisters. Self-sacrificial love. Jesus dying on the cross was the greatest act of self-sacrificing love. We may not be required to do the same. A visit to a sick person is a good example. You sacrifice your time, your money, and your energy. Forgiving love. Jesus shouted while hanging in the cross. He said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Usahay sa atong office na yung mga bullies, di ba? Siguro kung gagmay pa daw bago pa tayo sa opisina na yung mga bullies, to the point na makahilag ka ba? Tago-tago ang paghilak. So, Instead of fighting back, we may have to say, Lord, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Sa iyo na ba baton? Unconditional love. Jesus, while hanging on the cross, a criminal on his left made fun of Jesus by telling him, "If you are God, come down from the cross, save yourself and us." The criminal on his right side reprimanded the other and then asked Jesus, "Remember me when you are in your kingdom." Without ifs and buts and no conditions, Jesus said, "Today you will be with me in paradise." Brothers and sisters, if you were to be tested, how would you fare out in your responsibilities in the following areas in a scale of 1 to 10? Hasan Hatta David. As a husband to your wife, no? As a wife to your husband. As parents to your children. In your work or profession, sa opisina, i-require ta nga mo trabaho 8 hours, pero pila ka hours, sige lang og text. No? In your parish, community, usahay sa atong mga simbahan, magpista sila, they may be asking you for support, for help. Do we extend some kind of support? Financial or physical? Dependent na sa iyo. And where are you in the scale of 1 to 10? Now the challenge in loving God and neighbor. Jesus Christ in the Gospel of St. John was emphatic when he asked Peter the same question 3 times. "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" And for 3 times, Jesus was specific in giving his instruction to Peter. He said, "Feed my lambs. Look after my sheep." Brothers and sisters, kuyas and others, Jesus has shown to us by modeling himself how we should love God in return. Now, if Jesus were to ask you right here, right now, the same question, "Do you love me?" What is your response? Brothers and sisters, that ends my talk. Thank you for listening. God bless us all.